Is it a green button?
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Hey!
Good day and welcome to JV Live on this, the 9th of October. I know this because Amazon was supposed to deliver something to me today and now it's not going to get here until Monday, although now it's telling me that it's going to get here tomorrow, which is great. Thanks, Amazon. You deliver shit just as and when I need it.
What is it you were waiting on? Don't keep us in suspense.
Believe it or not, everything has now arrived except the one piece of PC hardware that, you don't need. So everything is here except the CPU.
Hey! Brilliant.
So if it was anything else, I could have at least built part of the machine and got it ready to go. Because once you got the CPU seated and the cooler on, and yeah, if it I said this to Jim this afternoon, if it was the RAM, it wouldn't have bothered me because I'd have just gone out and brought 4 gig of RAM from somewhere just to get the thing set up, and then when my RAM arrived, I'd have
Put the new stuff in.
yeah. However, Amazon are a bunch of cunts.
Yeah.
These items were actually ordered on the 1st of October.
Ooh, that's a long order, that.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying to me, "Oh, Amazon, they're great." Yeah, I've never had a problem with Amazon before this, and ever since I've had this problem, it's been ridiculous. I've had to cancel the motherboard so that they can put it through as a separate order, because if it wasn't in stock, and then it was in stock, but because my order was already on hold because of it, I had to order it as a separate item. And they told me the same thing about the CPU, and I said no. But enough fucking about. You're just going to send the CPU, you're going to send it as quickly as possible, and if I don't get it by the latest Saturday, which is tomorrow, I'm just going to pursue action in the only way I know how.
Public shaming!
Not only public shaming, I like public shaming. Public shaming works.
Send them to their offices, roll them over a desk, and skull-fuck them into submission.
I could do that for you. They're not far down the road.
They have quite a few employees.
He seemed quite keen there, Martin.
He did, didn't he? He did seem overly keen, actually.
Well, you know, anything to help out and shit.
Oh,
I would just like to pull everybody's attention to the chat, and Aaron, as per usual, has a nice little thing for us. He says, "So it's official, the collective term for a bunch of cunts is Amazon."
yes.
Sorry.
Pretty much, right now. Yeah. I'm not holding any fucking words when it comes to Amazon right now. So, anyway, I'm late. I apologize for being late, except I don't mean it, because
You're always late.
I was eating, then I forgot to grab my beers, then I left my mod downstairs, so I've been up and down the stairs for the last sort of 5 minutes before I jumped on the Hangout. And as soon as I jumped on the Hangout, you can all attest, I pressed the green button and we went live.
Yeah,
It's the truth.
it is. Whole truth.
So if anybody is unprepared for this evening's events, it is most definitely me. So, on with the show. We'll have to do the introductions now, I believe. So we'll start with you, Martin. Welcome back.
Hi! Nice to be back. Unexpected message on Facebook. You coming? Ah, alright then.
That's our Keith. He's good, he is.
He is good, yeah.
I'm not bad, I suppose.
That's it, Keith. You be confident. Confidence is king.
Yes.
And on that note, Keith, would you like to say hello to the half a dozen people who actually tune into this show every week?
Hello, half a dozen people that actually tune into the show each week. Hiya.
Lovely.
That-
That brought a tear to my eye. Either that or I've still got something in my eye. Probably
That
the
was-
latter.
Probably got something in your eye.
The salt off your chips.
Alright.
Didn't have chips. I had something I don't even know what it was. It was rice and what looked like to be some description of curry, but it was alright. It was tasty.
As long as it tastes good.
Well, the little bits of it I tasted as I was shoveling it down my throat. Anyway,
I told you not to rush on my account.
no, that's how I eat.
Oh, right, okay.
I have one speed when I'm eating, and that's fat bastard.
With a shovel.
So finally, Gords, welcome back. You were wandering last week, I believe, stuck in the middle of nowhere with fuck all signal.
Yes. I would just like to point out that I travelled back from Newport to Wigan and managed to be here on time.
There's no excuse. You could have made it last week then.
Don't feel bad for being late, Ryan, at all.
Well, the way I look at it, Gords, is you're actually 7 days late.
I watched last week's show. I won't say anything.
I didn't say anything about you last week, did I? I don't think I did.
You spent 20 minutes talking about people chasing an odd-shaped ball around the field.
Rugby.
Oh God! Thank God I missed last week then. Bloody sport, honestly. I don't get the fascination. I really don't.
I'm with you, Martin. I agree 100%.
Unless it's first-person shooters, I'm not interested.
Oh, speaking of first-person shooters, thank you very much for the segue.
Hey!
Star Wars Battlefront beta.
It's
I would-
awesome.
Oh, fucking hell, we've lost the next hour of the...
Right, okay. I'm gonna
Yes,
level.
Ryan.
I'm gonna level with you, right? I was like, I'm not that interested in it. They keep changing it. It's not that great. And then the beta popped up on my Xbox One home screen. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll give it a go. I've only played it for about half an hour, mainly because I wanted to actually catch up on Arrow and the Flash.
Ah,
If I didn't watch them, I wouldn't get round to watching them, because if I go and actually sit and play on Battlefront, then I will be gone. Especially considering it plays really fucking well.
it does. It's amazing. It's I'm not that far above the minimum spec, and it's smooth as you like, and looks lovely. It's great. But yeah, I'm certain it's got subliminal messaging today because I was walking through the shop doing our weekly shopping, and I ended up buying this. New Star Wars toys.
When you run down the aisles like chucking blaster bolts everywhere but aiming.
I tell you, ever since I was a kid, I've wanted a stormtrooper suit. I am going to get one someday.
Don't get one. Get a 3D printer and make it. It'll be a lot fucking cheaper.
Yeah, probably.
Me?
A stormtrooper suit is anywhere from £500 to £2,500, depending on the thickness, and the £500 ones are really thin, cheap plastic.
Ah, harsh.
Not that I've looked into this or anything, but I wouldn't mind a set of advanced power armor from Fallout. You know.
Yeah, that would be really expensive. Can you imagine how much that would be? I
Especially,
prefer the Tesla armor though, to be honest. But you know.
Yeah, but how are you going to get that? That Tesla armor is going to be fucking heavy. Because you've got to actually have fucking Tesla coils on your back.
Yep, that would be awesome.
Or maybe the Hellfire armor. That looked pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
See, we're not
Yeah.
talking about Battlefront, Keith.
No, you just...
Trying our best not to.
Fucking... Yeah.
It's just it's
Talking about Halo, something interesting.
Oh, okay. They've ruined the
Halo
franchise.
stopped being interesting after Halo 3.
No, after that ending for Halo 3.
Well, yeah. Mhm.
What's Halo 5 like?
No idea.
Kind of like Halo 4 in the fact that it's not as good as you think it is. No, Aaron, that power armor is T51B. No, that's not T51B, that's T45D, I think.
45D, yes.
It's the Brotherhood of Steel power armor from Fallout 3, which is the 45 series. Because
45D.
the 51 is the old school stuff like you get in Operation Anchorage, the winterized one. Which
Yes.
actually kind of just looks like leather over metal plates, but
How deep do you have to get into a game to know the fucking name, the numbers of the fucking armor?
It's just something that sticks with you. It is. I don't know.
That's just ridiculous.
It's only the same as people playing COD who know exactly what submachine gun they want to use.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous as well.
It's no more ridiculous than someone that knows the positions of all the footballers and what all that shit and their numbers on a football field or a rugby pitch.
That's ridiculous as well.
Yeah, I know, but you know.
All right, Keith, could
Yes.
you number the numbers on a dartboard starting from top middle all the way around going clockwise?
If I thought about it, probably, but not straight away. I'd have to think about it, and even then, I'd probably get it wrong.
Well, we get things wrong every now and then. That's the beauty of video games, because different developers take over different games every now and then they change something, and what was canon is no longer canon, and it's like, the fuck, man?
Mm-hmm.
I just got this shit down, and now you got and rewrote it.
Yeah.
Or in the
But
case
I'm not that much of a geek about darts as you are about fucking Fallout.
I've been gaming for 30 years, for God's sake. It's like it's
Yeah,
life,
I've been
man.
gaming for longer than that, but I don't know the fucking names of the armor in games and shit like that. I played Doom for fucking hours and hours every day, but I don't know all the ins and outs of the game.
all you need to know with Doom is shotgun is king.
Yes.
No, it's IDKFA.
Well, that doesn't count. It's not technically a gun.
But people know, there's people who play Doom who know all the cheat codes and everything off by heart. I don't know that shit.
Oh, that reminds me, actually, I was playing GTA 3 the other day on PlayStation 2. Because every now and then I get a PlayStation out and I just have the rest. I still remember the health cheat and the lower wanted level cheat. I couldn't tell you what they are, but you give me my hands on a control pad and I can just naturally do it.
It's muscle memory.
But it's the same as the Konami code. Everybody knows the Konami code.
I don't, to be fair, but I never really played consoles when I was a kid.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start.
I don't know the fucking Konami code. You were going on about that last week, saying everybody knows the Konami code, and I was sitting here thinking, I don't fucking know the Konami code. What's this Konami code?
Keith, certain things just stick in my head. If something interests me, I try and remember it, and then there's stuff that just really doesn't interest me that I can't get out of there just purely because it's where I go to when I'm bored. My head is not a safe place to be at any fucking point.
I can imagine that. Definite.
I got dual monologues going on. I got Patrick Stewart on one side.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart saying, what the fuck is going on?
But the best thing is, he's arguing with Ron Perlman half the time. If you're going to have an internal monologue, it needs to be Patrick Stewart or Ron Perlman. There are no other options.
Liam Neeson.
And they agree on one thing. They're both saying, Ryan, you need fucking help.
They've both worked for Bethesda. So's Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he did.
He was Dad.
He was.
I still refer to him as Dad to this day. Just because it's the only way Ree knows what I'm talking about. And Malcolm McDowell was in it.
Yes, that's right.
And Danny Trejo was in New Vegas.
I've not really played New Vegas yet. I might get round to it.
Dude, we're like a month away.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to get round to it, am I?
Brian, you know what? You know what most people would say to you, don't you? You need to get out more.
I tried getting out. I don't enjoy the leveling system. The graphics are alright, but the NPCs talk too much. and there's no weird guys wearing shiny like exclamation points above their head that want to give me quests. So
Real life's overrated.
yeah,
I agree with that, definitely.
I would much rather lose the graphics and live my life in the world of Pac-Man.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Aaron says, I knew I liked you lot for some reason. Aaron, I have no idea why you like us. I don't even like me.
And I definitely don't like me.
If I ever met myself, I would despise myself, because I'm the sort of person I don't like. Because I know fucking everything but nothing at the same time. It's unique and genius, but it's just not me.
And this is going to be a strange experience for me, filling the tank from the bottom for a change. I've been so used to the Triton and the TFV4 lately.
Well, I've actually given up with, because I mix 100 ml of juice every time, and I've actually given up on decanting it into 30 ml bottles now. I actually just take the 100 ml bottle and just free pour it into the fucking tank.
Yup.
That's what I'm using at the moment.
Seco?
Pinkman. Bloody lovely stuff. But I had Pinkman before. It was a Vampire Vapes one, but it was like 60-40 PG.
All Vampire Vapes.
Used to PG, so it was no good for me.
All Vampire Vapes up is 60-40.
Yeah, this one is a 70-30 VG mix.
I'm not sure what my mix is. I just put the nick in, then I put the flavour in, and then I just fill it with VG.
I got this from our very good friend who's in chat at the moment. I think he's in chat at the moment. Aaron Palmer.
We have very good friends.
Yes, I have lots of very good friends.
I've got to admit, for me, filling a tank is a very, very, very odd experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's probably why I like the TFV4, actually, because it's much like filling a dripper.
TFV4 is awesome, actually. I do like that.
It's a good tank. It's the only
I did
tank
a
I've ever had.
video on that today, actually.
Making videos without me? How dare you? How very dare you?
Well, you were nowhere to be seen.
I was having a paddy.
About Amazon, was it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Not just about Amazon. Everything today has been my fault. Which usually I resign myself to, but when I'm in a bad mood and somebody blames me for something I didn't do, I snap.
Which is understandable.
And when I snap, I use some very colourful language, a lot of words that I didn't even know existed, so they exit my mouth.
That's a talent, that is.
Good evening, Mr. Black. If you'd like to bring your note to the front of the class and we'll inspect it.
Yes. Evening, Ed.
Do you know what pisses me off about regulated mods?
Go on.
It's a fucking wake up.
I'm well awake.
Oh, right, see what you mean. Don't have that problem with the IPv4S.
You pick it up, you press the button, you wait about a year, and then you get some vapor.
Check this out then, good. Listen, press the button.
Well, to be fair, I've woke it up now, so
Yeah, it'll be like that now. But yeah.
it's fine now. But, you know, the fucking mini detonator doesn't go to sleep. You pick it up, it takes your face off.
The Invader Mini's like that. It's annoying as fuck. It's like 2 minutes or something. It switches itself off completely. It's annoying as hell.
It's nice enough when it wakes up. It's just I don't like that. I just want to pick something up and just go.
I've not had that problem with this. I mean, I put this down and left it for ages, and then when I pick it up, I press the button and it fires.
I usually don't leave mine alone long enough to like go to sleep anyway, so it's usually not a problem.
Yeah, can't say I have that issue either. It's usually in my hand or on the desk ready to go. But then I've got accustomed to giving it a quick pulse before I start vaping anyway. Anyway, on to stuff that's not vaping, otherwise we're breaking the rules of the show.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're not supposed to be.
I could see you getting touchy there, Ryan.
He was twitching a little bit, wasn't he?
I'm not. Mate, I tell you what, this whole thing with Amazon has just really fucking drained me. Usually, you know me, I'm quite a fun-loving guy. I don't like picking up people for no reason. And I was very, very, very conservative in the choice of language that I chose when I was speaking to Amazon. And
Okay.
that kind of ended today. When this is all said and done, I will be posting the transcript of the conversation I had with Amazon onto various social media outlets. Like every fucking social media outlet. Ever.
Even
MySpace and Bebo.
Google
I have a
Plus.
feeling this isn't going to be like the Amazon conversation where the person from Amazon acknowledged that the guy was talking about Thor and stuff. Because that conversation was awesome.
That was quite funny, yeah. I liked that.
Well, I even said to the guys at Amazon, I'm not looking for compensation. I just want the fucking items that I ordered. That's all I want, yeah? I don't need anything to make it sweeter. If they, obviously they were going to throw in next day delivery, which is fine because it's their fault. It should have fucking been here by now anyway. But it's just the fucking policies Amazon have. Oh, we can't ship it to you until Monday because it's not in your local warehouse, it's in a different warehouse, so it's got to be shipped to your local warehouse so it can be shipped out with everything else. There's a fucking tick box on the order that says if it's easier, split my order.
Mm-hmm.
Split the fucking order. Send one from one warehouse and another from another warehouse. There's got to be some internal architecture in their software system somewhere that would allow them to do that.
Of course there is. It'd be bloody stupid if it didn't. And somebody
Right,
was
do you want to do
fired.
this rant?
No, not yet. I'm not even halfway through my first beer yet.
You really want to let it simmer?
Yeah, I want to let it simmer. I like to let things simmer. If anybody else has a rant that they would like to do, and that's not Keith complaining about the fact that I might end up talking about Battlefront again, then feel free. Oh, Keith, if you do want to rant,
Battlefront! Sorry.
Yeah, I've got a rant actually.
go on then,
Go on,
Gord.
Gord's.
Right, you fucking go away on holiday. You're in a nice caravan park. It's a nice area. Go to the bar and you politely say, "Can I use my e-cigarette in here?" And they say, "No. You can go outside with the smokers." Thanks. Okay. It's your house. It's your rules. I go in there the next night and there's some twat sat on a fucking sub box, chucking clouds across the place. Nothing's being said. Really?
That's what you get for being polite and asking.
Yeah.
Should have just fucking done it.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't mind. I wasn't even going to throw clouds about. I got a stealthy setup with me as well.
I actually had a similar thing because I play Skittles every Tuesday, and one of the places we play is British Legion Club. Now, a lot of older people get in there because obviously it's a British Legion Club, and that's the only people that go in the Legion Club is old people. And on the door it says smoking is prohibited, blah blah blah. And then underneath it says this also includes vaping. So I said to the guy behind the bar, I've known him for years. I said, why is vaping prohibited? I said, surely none of the old biddies are coming in here with fucking cloud chasing setups, you know, fogging the place out.
Let's get a funny picture in my head now.
It's not the funny picture I've got, is it, of about a 90-year-old woman with arthritis trying to click the button on a regulated mod? Or trying to use a bottom firing mech?
Teeth shattered and everything.
And it was like, oh, it's just what they've told us at the management, because it's a chain, part of a brewery chain. He's like, if you want to vape, he said, do it in the skittle alley. He said, the cameras don't work. He said, I wouldn't be able to see you.
Yay! That's not so bad.
I was like, I've already been vaping in the skittle alley. Thank you very much. I know the cameras don't work. I've been coming here for 10 fucking years. But thankfully, everywhere else, the club we actually play in, he's been told by their management they're not allowed vaping in there, and I can stand at the bar just puffing away. You don't give a shit. I've been going in that club since I was 5 years fucking old. Anyway,
hefty drinking career, that one.
Banks' mate brought up on it, weaned on it.
We have a
Nice.
small person.
Oh, little small person.
No small person.
In that case, I shall mind my language.
Yes.
Hello.
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 Is you that?
Now tell the nice people why you're up early. Oh, we have another small person.
I don't know.
Right.
Hello.
No.
Do you want to run to the Teletubbies?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We want
I
to.
thought you might. What do you want?
I want to watch this and Nathan this.
I'm gonna say now that this won't be suitable for you two.
Oh, it's suitable.
We don't know how long we're invited.
Why?
I can only control my language for so long.
It's like a timer system. There's a cooldown. That's what it is.
It just boils up and boils up and boils up, and then eventually I'm just going to scream some
You say
random expletive.
nice people.
Maybe not yet.
Say night night to the nice people.
Not yet.
And say night night chat.
Not yet.
No, yeah.
This is like me at 4 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep. No! Go to sleep. No!
Don't want to.
I'm watching a film. 5 minutes later, I've fallen asleep. I am a grown adult.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, these are grown adults as well.
Nowadays, they might as well be. It's not like when I was a kid.
Do you want to tell them about going on the boat?
We don't want to buy. And we had lots of fun, but it was a little bit balancing. Wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah.
It was a little bit slippery. It was panicking.
Right, and did we go to an expensive sweet shop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not so much that the sweets are expensive, it's just the amount that you wanted to buy, wasn't it?
No, the sweets were expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the children don't know that. To the children, they're just sweets.
Yeah.
I'll
To
be
me,
one-
they're just sweets.
I'll be 100% honest. We didn't go in there for the children.
I can agree with that on the last sweet shop I had gone into. Yeah.
That was like when I took my nephew to the cinema. Do you want pick and mix? No. Yeah, you do. You want pick and mix. Do you want popcorn? No. Yeah, you want popcorn. Do you want a hot dog? No. Yeah, you want a hot dog.
Yeah, I go to the cinema, it has to be those big, what do you call them? Those slushy things. I have to have them every single time I go. It's
Oh,
terrible.
slush puppy.
Yeah.
I
Whatever they
love
call them these
slush
days.
puppies. If you add a bottle of vodka to it while it's mixing as well, I mean, just saying.
In the bedroom, Dad.
Or rum. If you're inclined to rum, then rum works as well.
Just a minute, sir.
I would probably advise. No one is good. I would probably advise white rum, however, as dark rum kind of makes everyone look brown.
I found the buns yesterday.
I like dark rum then.
What's wrong with dark rum?
I was going to say, I like dark rum.
I like dark rum as well, but I like white rum. Then I like vodka in moderation.
Yeah, vodka's alright, but prefer rum.
I like whiskey.
Yes, whiskey's nice.
Proper whiskey though, none of that Irish stuff.
No proper whiskey.
None
Scotch.
of that blended shite either. Mm.
I
Proper
don't know.
distillery.
Cause
straight.
grouse is
Yes.
blended, isn't it?
No, it tastes like piss. It's
Grouse is
disgusting.
alright.
Martin's Scottish, he knows these things.
I do. Used to drink whiskey a lot. A lot. Don't drink anymore. That's probably why. But but yes, there's once you've had proper aged straight from distillery type whiskies, you can't go back to the blended crap. It's really there's worlds of difference.
I do like my whiskey.
There's a
Good
nice
thing.
There's a nice Welsh whiskey actually. I can't remember what it's called.
Did you know? What is it? There's. Did you know? There's actually a trading law that states that you can't call something Scotch or Scotch whiskey, or Scots whiskey or what have you, unless it's actually from Scotland.
Yes. Same as champagne can only be called
Yes, that's
champagne
right.
if it's
If
from a
it's from the
certain region in France.
France. Yeah, that's right. And get the same thing for whiskey, which is quite awesome.
It's the same with some cheeses too.
Really?
Yeah, some cheeses can only be called that certain name
Type of cheese.
if they're from the right place.
Yeah, I didn't know that they did it with cheese too.
They do with a lot of things.
There's is there some salmon? Some I think do that as well.
Yeah, certain.
Possibly. Certain
not-
fish.
I'm not sure if it's the salmon or whether they do it with the caviar. I know some
Could be.
caviars are very pricey because of the cost that goes into actually making them.
Hmm.
Oh, that's the program on it, and the guy was holding a bunch of caviar in his hand, and he was like, "That's £500,000."
I'd be taking it off and selling it. Can't get my money back.
I'd be leaving work every day with a pocket full of caviar.
Ew. Squishy.
It's for Broidies, whatever that means.
4 for Brady's. Alright. That must be another one. Oh, aye. There's a black pudding from that as well. Forget the name of it, but it's really nice. I've had
I'm
that
guessing that's a brand of whiskey.
Oh no, Brady's are pastry things.
Is it?
Well,
I can't remember exactly, but
don't you think the same thing should apply to pasties? It's not a pasty unless it's Cornish.
No.
Yeah, I think there was a thing with Cornish pasties. You could only call them Cornish pasties if they were made in Cornwall.
possibly. Yeah, Stornoway black pudding. That's the one I was thinking of. It's really tasty.
I just like black pudding in general.
Yes.
Not great.
And white pudding actually, considering. Yeah.
I've never tried white pudding.
No, me either.
You should. But I like a lot of what I would call old-timey food, like pilchards on toast.
Ew.
I'm with you on that.
Never tried pilchards.
It's just sardines, really, isn't it?
No,
Or little fish. So
completely different beast. I mean, yeah, they're little fish, but they taste different.
okay, but sardines are little fish too. So for the uninitiated.
But I mean, what makes me laugh is probably about 15 years ago, me and my dad started eating all these really weird meats. Not weird as in weird, but just weird as in they're not common. So we had like kangaroo and stuff like that. Now, those meats are so expensive, but back then, because nobody was buying them, they were cheap as anything. Not all English black pudding is full of fat, thank you very much.
That's what you should do. You should get yourself a hold of some of the stored away black pudding. And the differences. There's just it's no easy to get a hold of though.
Actually, while we're on the subject of it, there is one thing that should actually only be called this thing if it is done a certain way. And that's bacon. Right? Bacon needs to be bacon as we know it, right?
Really?
What, you mean decent sized fucking slabs of dead pig?
Yeah. Not the way America does it where it's all streaky bacon. And most
see what you mean.
certainly not the way that Canada do it where it's just, the medallion piece.
Uh-huh.
That's Canadian bacon.
Is it?
So that's one thing I think we need to move on. Yeah, those things cannot be called bacon. Okay, because if I walk up to a joint and I'm about to order bacon and sausage and eggs and mushrooms and God knows what else for breakfast, I want bacon. I don't want some piddly little piece of streaky bacon that you put over a turkey at Christmas. That is the only feasible use for streaky bacon. That and wrapping stuff up.
Sausages.
In which case, you can still use normal bacon and it's twice as tasty.
Yes.
No, the only reason for streaky bacon is that there's a lot of fat on it. So like you say, you wrap something and it's to keep it moist while you roast it.
Yeah, like if you make, do rolled rabbit or something like that, you always wrap it in streaky bacon.
Yeah. But proper bacon that you put on sandwiches is an entirely different animal. That's why we have streaky bacon and bacon.
Actually, no, that's a good point. While we're on the subject as well, if anybody has their bacon with red sauce, you're wrong.
No, brown sauce. Has to be brown sauce.
Brown sauce on bread that's been buttered.
Yes.
No margarine, butter.
Or a roll. Rolls are acceptable.
Rolls are acceptable.
Barn cake.
A what?
Barn cake.
Okay.
It's what you cut up to put a sausage in to make a hot dog.
Oh. Right. I didn't
Bread
really have
roll,
any
in other words.
And it's
Hot
not
dog
a
roll.
milk bottom, that's something you flip halfway through cooking. And it's not a tea cake, they have fucking raisins in.
Unless it's a Tunnocks tea cake. What are Tunnocks tea cakes again? Is that? No, that's not the marshmallow ones. That's the caramel and wafer. Oh, yeah, that's them.
We've got on to cooking on JV, right?
This isn't cooking, this is just food in general.
This is just slavering.
In actual
Going,
fact,
actually, I'm quite hungry now.
did I just hear you talking about tea cakes?
Go on.
Did I hear tea cakes mentioned? Like,
Yeah.
You did. You did.
Got raisins in.
Well, no, nothing has raisins in. Raisins are wrong.
Tea cake too.
Except in Welsh cakes, which is weird because I don't eat raisins and neither does Ree, but we will both eat Welsh cakes and they've got raisins in. Yeah, they've got to be Ree's Grammars. They can't be like shop brought because I brought a pack of Welsh cakes once. Firstly, they didn't taste right, and secondly, they were made in Kent.
So they're not Welsh.
So they're not Welsh cakes, are they? Let's face it.
They're Kentish cakes.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, the one piece of Scottish culinary cuisine that I really enjoy is square sausage.
Oh yes, I do like some square sausage.
Yeah.
Square sausage is awesome.
Square
is.
sausage is not only awesome, but it's fucking good for if you've got a square pan.
How many people get square frying pans? Seriously.
Maybe,
Obviously you do.
Maybe you're using a griddle pan instead of a frying pan. Maybe you're worried about the fat intake and you're trying to look after yourself.
Oh,
It
okay.
actually works so much better on a grill pan.
Yep.
They are generally rectangular.
In all honesty, if you want a proper square sausage, you either grill it. Actually, it's better grilled usually, or obviously fried.
And if you're a fat bastard like me, you can get 2 of them on slices of bread with very little overhang.
Yes, that's very true. You know what's even better? Tatty scones, anyone?
Yes, there will be potato cakes down here.
Well, yeah. I think the Irish scones as well. The tatty scones, sort of. I'm not sure.
Don't talk to the Irish about potatoes.
It's still sensitive subject there.
No,
Yeah. 2
We
square
should
sausages, tatty scone in the middle, on a roll. Heaven.
we absolutely should be talking to the Irish about square sausages because the EU has just spent £3.6 billion on convincing the Irish to eat more fucking potatoes. Really?
Oh no, soda scones are different, Ed. In the chat there. Yeah, soda scones are amazing as well. They're really
Oh,
nice.
that's good.
Yeah, they don't involve potato.
Look, it might be because I'm British, but I still do like a muffin. And I'm not talking about fucking chocolate chip muffins, alright? They're not. They're just giant fucking cupcakes.
Yeah.
That's all they are. They're not muffins. A muffin is a savoury item.
Aliki, feel free to join in and show the rest of the people.
No, Nicky. Show us what? Do you mean?
You're
Yeah.
not in chat.
The leaky says boobs.
Oh, right, of course. Okay, now it clicks. Die.
Yes, as we're on the subject of sausages and whatnot, I do like sausage in a muffin with
Pancake.
egg, bacon, mushrooms, and a nice...
Ah,
What?
mushrooms.
Mushrooms?
Heathen.
Yes, you've got to have mushrooms.
Ah, yuck. Yeah,
Fried.
I can't go mushrooms. No.
Fried
Horrible.
in butter.
Awesome.
Always got to be fried in butter. Never do mushrooms in oil.
And what I used to have was a barn cake. I will stress the word.
Yes, a barn cake.
Egg, bacon, sausage, cheese, 2 hash browns, mushrooms, and brown sauce. That was a good breakfast.
That does sound like a good breakfast. And guess what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow?
Will it involve mushrooms or?
Yeah, breakfast has to involve mushrooms. Mushrooms and breakfast.
Nope.
What?
Nope. Just nope. Mushrooms are horrid, disgusting things. Slimy, horrible, bleh.
Then you've
Basically,
never had them
Don't
cooked
know what
right.
you're missing, Martin.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm missing. They're horrid, horrid things. It's just... Ugh.
I used to say the same thing about the French. Well, I still
You
do
just
say
did.
the same.
Did you say the same thing about the French?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not worried about pissing off anybody in particular. I'm just trying to piss off entire races of people at once.
Let's not be, yes, all covering, as it were.
Yeah.
My family's got a historic dislike of the French.
Yeah?
You know what my family motto is?
Go on then.
Not fuck the French, is it?
On that t-shirt, which I can't show you properly on webcam, but the family motto translates into English as "We ruled at Agincourt," which relates back to the Battle of Agincourt. We severely kicked French ass.
Which is funny, considering like, well, let's not go there. Actually, never mind. History, fascinating stuff. Normans and the Saxons and whatnot,
Yeah.
and where they all actually come from.
Yeah, let's not worry about that so much and just revel in our national pride
Not liking the French.
as a union of 4 nations who all despise the French.
You eat snails.
Well, while we're on the subject, if anybody doesn't know this, my favourite type of animal is a raven. I have a thing about ravens. I like ravens. There's a lot of symbolism that goes with that, but not all of it's true. But both my father's family's crest and my mother's family crest have ravens on them, which is quite weird. I don't know what our family mottos are. I think the one is endure and overcome. And then the other one's probably kill anybody who's not us.
Enduring overcome.
My family crest is quite a good one. It's crossed battle axes.
I have no idea what mine is.
Battle axe is a good sturdy weapon. Can be used for brunt force, but also good for slicing off heads after the battle.
That too. I think my name directly translates as Son of the Navigator.
The handy thing about battle axe is when you're not busy chopping people's heads off and splitting their chests open, they also have quite a useful tool for survival, which is always something to consider.
And most battle axes wouldn't have had a sharp blade on them.
No, not entirely.
It would have been literally down to the point of it's so fucking heavy. If I lift this thing above my head, I am going to kill something when it comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Edward in the chat there, his family motto seemed like a good idea at the time. Like that.
My family crest is anything to go by. My family were into archery. You can kind of understand that. I like archery.
Archery's good fun. Everybody likes archery. In all honesty, anything that shoots things
Well,
at high
archery-
velocity is extremely good fun.
I like darts.
Well, darts is just mini javelins, isn't it?
Yeah,
And archery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
like I said, I think my family liked darts.
Indoor archery.
Propeller.
I tried to play indoor archery once. Never again.
That's where darts comes from. Archery.
That's why it's called arrows.
Mm-hmm. I shall be back in a moment.
See, that's where you lose me there. You start talking about darts and sports-related things. It's just like, wee. Yeah.
Darts goes over my head, but to me, darts is a game like football or rugby. I like sports, so hunting and fishing and that sort of thing.
I like hunting. Haven't been for a very long time. But I have a rule, whereas I would never kill an animal unless I plan to put it on the table,
Yes, exactly.
which is a proper hunter's rule. It's never take the
Yeah.
shot if you don't plan to.
If you're not planning eating it, then don't hit it.
It's the same as never take the shot unless you're 100% certain it's going to hit.
Aye, and kill.
Yeah, you need to take. It needs to be a one shot because otherwise you're just torturing animals for sport,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
not.
just mean.
I
You used to go
have a
rabbit
slight
hunting.
exception to that rule, in that I don't mind doing pest control for someone who needs pest control,
Mhm.
but I ain't putting fucking rats on the table.
Indeed, there is that, yeah.
It ain't bad.
Oh, you've not tried it, have you?
There's not a lot of things I haven't tried. I haven't tried dog, but my brother has.
That you know of.
No, I'm very picky about where I decide to buy food. In fact, 90% of the time I will cook myself. I don't like. It's if something's going on in the family and we're all getting together. I'm like, okay, who's cooking? Oh, we're going out to eat. I can't make it.
Mm.
Because I don't trust a lot of people to cook for me.
Mhm.
I'm very particular about people cooking for me.
Quite right too.
I'd just like to say I'd much rather be either around the pond or out in the field somewhere, to be honest. If the choice is that or sitting in a pub watching some idiots chase a ball around the field.
I couldn't do it. It was fine when I was working in pubs because it's just background noise then, and I've always got something to do. But I couldn't go and sit in the pub and watch them. I mean, the rugby, yeah, I could, if Wales were playing. Because let's face it, with the Six Nations, England won't be playing anymore.
For me, it's not so much a case of could or couldn't. It's quite simple. Won't. I will not tolerate being in a pub when football and stuff is on.
Yeah.
And that has been a long-standing thing with me. I cannot tolerate it.
Do you know I used to get rid of people at the pub when they were annoying me? I used to put the golf on.
Let's go next door. They've got the football on.
I used to switch over and
Genius.
I used to put the golf on. Because there's practically always golf on. And because I play golf, I'm not brilliant at it. I mean, in fact, I'm pretty terrible at it. And somebody once said golf was a good walk spoilt, but I don't really agree with that because first rule whenever you get onto the first tee of the golf course is your mobile phone gets switched off.
See, I don't mind golf in that they always need people to get rid of rabbits and stuff. So golf has its uses from my point of view. In that if you're friendly with them and polite, you get somewhere to go shooting, which is a much better use of the land, to be fair.
And if you're lucky, they'll pay you for it as well.
Exactly. And they don't demand a third of your bag. Because they don't know how to fucking cook a rabbit.
Let alone fucking skin it.
Exactly.
I find between your legs is probably the best way. A little bit squeamish there, Martin.
no, just the thought of being skinned from between the legs. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the best way to skin a rabbit. It's quick and it's easy.
I've heard
Yes.
most Science council don't seem to mind.
Oh, that's it. The only rabbit hunting I ever did was for what's that thing that they get? Myxomatosis, isn't it? The
Yeah.
disease thing. Lots of the farms around here had loads, overpopulations of rabbits, and they all had that. So
Yeah.
never actually skinned any because you wouldn't eat those.
No, they're destined.
Myxomatosis was introduced in various places, and it's.
Yeah.
I'd much rather a land was shot than dropping a disease, because it's not nice.
But yeah, that's the only hunting I ever did was rabbits with that. So we never actually cooked them or skinned them or anything. It was just literally clearing out pests.
At least if you have a team of pest controllers or gamekeepers, you do have a sporting chance. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you've got somebody going in there regular, performing a little bit of maintenance, should we call it, then you shouldn't really have many issues anyway with them. The worst ones with golf courses isn't even rabbits; it's fucking moles.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And as Jasper Carrot once said, there's only one way to get rid of a fucking mole. Blow its fucking head off.
Gotta love Jasper Carrot.
But you wouldn't fucking eat one.
No.
Even I would draw the line at moles. There is a line.
The mole, Roy.
No?
Why? You eat everything fucking else.
Well, you know, there's a certain line and I won't cross it. I won't eat monkey either.
Yeah, I can understand monkey.
Yeah, it's too close to some people that I know.
I don't understand mole, though.
Mole, I don't know. Mole's just not one of those. I don't think I've ever encountered a recipe with mole. So even if I had mole, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Garlic.
Mole and mash.
Do it like a potato. because it kind of looks like one.
Mole, mashed onions and gravy.
Just do it like mutton. Just stick it in a pot, leave it for 3 days, forget about it, come back and go, oh, what's this?
Hopefully by that point you'll have forgotten it's mole as well.
And if nobody's actually tried mutton, you really should try mutton, because a nice mutton stew that's been coggling away for like 3 or 4 days is actually one of the best stews you could ever have.
Oh, absolutely.
Next to rabbit, but to do a proper rabbit stew, you need half a dozen rabbits.
Yeah. And a shitload of barley.
And you just don't get that many rabbits and pets or pets at home rather.
Yeah, they look at you kind of funny when you keep going in there to buy rabbits too.
I'll have all your rabbits. Cheers.
How many rabbits have you got? 6. I'll take them all. Well, don't you want to look at them? Not really.
I'm going to try that next time.
Squeeze them to make sure they're ripe.
Oh, this one's well fed, yeah.
But this is the other thing I try to explain to people when I talk about eating rabbit. Because when you talk about eating rabbit, everybody thinks of the white fluffy things you see in the pet shop.
Yeah, everyone thinks of Dutch rabbits.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's not proper rabbit, that's full of fat. Why the fuck would you want to eat that? A proper rabbit should be lean, it should be just meat, there should be no fat fucking on it. That's why in survival training they'll tell you if you're eating rabbit, you actually need to crack the bones and take the bone marrow as well, because you need the extra nutrients and stuff from that, because you aren't getting the fat. Because rabbit meat's so lean, you need to substitute in the fat from somewhere. So unless you crashed in the middle of the wilderness with somebody who weighs about 40 stone, then you're going to have to start sucking out bone marrow from rabbits.
The best one always when you're out hunting rabbits and you catch a hare. That's always a bonus.
Oh, a hare is always a bonus. I haven't had hare in a while.
Yeah, you've always got that hat on though, haven't you? Alright.
Was that a balding joke? Because I'm very sensitive when it comes to my hairline.
Sorry. Look, I've got a hellish hairline too, don't worry about it.
No, the only thing I'm dreading is gaining the island.
The patch in the middle. Yeah.
I've said the same thing as my dad said when his hair started to go. As soon as it gets to a point where there's just no point having hair anymore, I'm gonna bick the fucking lot.
Yeah. And see, I've got a theory about that. I'm thinking old school monk, round the edges. Just for shits and giggles.
But once a week you'd have to go out randomly dressed in robes.
Oh yeah, of course.
And you need to get yourself a pair of sandals.
Oh, back in a minute. She's making tea and wants my cup. Back in. But yes, sandals, robe, the works, totally. And, for good measure, big plank.
So Keith, isn't there something going on tonight that everybody should know about?
Well, yes, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it now.
What?
What everyone does need to do is get their ass onto the computer and record a 3-minute video of their vaping story. And then they need to go to Vapor Trails Facebook group, and they need to contact Mr. Kitson.
Who is going to be on the lock-in tonight, which I'm going to be on also, as usual.
So that's what people do.
On RY4 radio from 9:30 PM.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is www.ry4radio.com/chat.
Thank you very much, Brian.
See, and everyone says we're not a vaping show.
We're not, but we vape, and every now and then we need to talk about important shit.
We have our finger on the pulse. We just choose not to always operate that pulse.
And Dave Kitson, and we've also got Catherine Devlin is going to be a guest on the show as well.
Ah, that should be good. Kathy's always good.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been invited, but it's fine because I'll be not building the computer that I can't build until the CPU gets here.
You can stick everything else on the motherboard.
Yeah. The problem is without the CPU, because I would always seat a CPU first.
Well, at least once you've got all the memory in, you'll know whether the cooler will fit.
I'm only using stock cooling because I'm not overclocking it. There's no need to overclock it. It's an X4 860K anyway, so it's a pretty reasonable AMD processor, to be fair.
Doesn't Fatboy have a slight issue with AMD?
Fatboy has a slight issue with a lot of things, but I think Fatboy's main issue with AMD is it's just not Intel. Because Intel have been so far up his arse for years that he forgets that there are alternatives out there. And the benchmark on my CPU is actually slightly higher than the benchmark on his i5.
Nice.
And the benchmark on the graphics card I'm getting is almost 4 times as much as the benchmark on his graphics card.
Please tell me your graphics card is an AMD graphics card.
No, Nvidia, mate. Always go Nvidia. Especially now with a lot of the modern games. Nvidia are sort of not helping with development, but they're lending tools, if that makes any sense. So a lot of these,
market.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole problem with the AMD ATI merger. They've still not sorted their shit out when it comes to their graphics end of things. Which is why Nvidia cards are simply better than ATI.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to make a move and get over onto RY4.
Yes, if you make your way over onto www.ry4radio.com/chat. Okay, and we'll see you in a bit.
You'll get to hear me
Again.
again,
Even more.
even more.
That's
O'Keefe,
my win.
who can complain about that?
And also Tim Boniface and Rob Tavey. You'll know him as Rob Tavey.
Oh, is Rob going to be on the show?
Yes, he's always on the show.
I didn't know that. Otherwise, I'd have tuned in. I like Rob Tafey.
Yeah, he's always on there. He's part of the crew.
Well, when you speak to him, say Nosferdah from me.
I will do. So I shall leave you guys to it.
Indeed. It's been a pleasure annoying you this evening, Keith.
With your Battlefront talk, yes.
We ain't even started that shit yet.
Well, you can talk about Battlefront all you want now. I don't give a shit. You carry on. I don't.
We should all go into the chat in RY4 Radio and just start chatting about Battlefront now.
See, this is why I'm not allowed on RY4 Radio. Now, Tim says I am allowed on RY4 Radio every now and then if I want to. However, it's probably best I don't appear on RY4 Radio because RY4 Radio has quite a good reputation and I would not like to be the one to ruin it.
Well,
what a noble sentiment.
It's exactly the same reason why I'm not allowed on a live VTTV broadcast.
yes. I'm not saying anything about that.
I have a mouth that works twice as fast as my brain. I don't even realise I've said something wrong until about 2 minutes later, and I'm like, "Ooh, should I have said that? Probably not. Oh well,
Oops.
too late now."
Don't worry about it, I've got away with it.
Mate, I've been like this my entire life. I've never had any issues, other than that one bloke in the pub once, but he was twice my size. But when somebody's lying on the floor, it don't matter how fucking tall they are, does it?
Exactly.
Natty nat, Keith. We love you, even though you hate us.
I don't fucking hate you at all.
You do. You called me a cunt earlier.
No, I did
That's
not.
just a sign of affection.
You called me a cunt.
No, I did not. That was
No, you-
autocorrect. And you can tell it was autocorrect because it was all in capital letters.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't got the patience to sit there on my phone and type everything in capital letters.
No, you haven't. Too much work for you.
Yeah, too much work for me. Autocorrect. I don't even end up correcting myself because everybody knows what I mean anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Keith, it's been good catching up. I missed you last week, I'll be honest.
Definitely good. We will have to have a catch up, mate.
Yeah. We'll sort something out over the weekend or early in the week.
Yeah, we will do, mate.
Keith.
Big you soon.
Keith.
Yes, Brian. Yes, mate.
You gotta not press the shift key when you press the 4 key.
That's just unkind.
If you say so, right.
Because otherwise it just looks like Rye Dollar.
Yes, mate.
Thank you for joining us, Keith. Good luck with RY4. I shall be sending the reprobates over once we finish anyway.
Yes, no worries, mate.
Not that
See you later, Keith.
Not that there are many.
Bye, Martin. Speak to you, mate.
See you soon.
Night, everybody.
Bye. See you soon.
North
All
Star.
right, catch soon, mate.
North Star. So yes, we're slowly running out of panelists.
So,
Bleeding panelists. I wonder if that's got a name.
I'll be honest, I need to speak to it about half now. Tony was not pleased that I was running in instantly back out the back door.
Oh dear.
Oh, did you?
Did you not tell him I have my fame to manage and things?
Wait, what fame?
Shh.
To be fair, I did ring her when I was setting off from Newport and say, I'm heading back. According to Google Maps and everything, I'll be back at about 7:30, 7:45. So I'm going to really be in a rush for just vapes. So I did give her 4 hours, nearly 5 hours advance warning.
See, there you go. What else can you do?
We've been doing this for 9 fucking weeks now. 9 weeks we've been back on the airways.
I think she was just mildly concerned about me, A, lack of sleep, and B, lack of food today. Yeah.
May not be healthy. Yes.
Well, that's why I made sure to actually eat before I came on, because I've made the mistake before of sitting here and having a few beers without having something to eat, and then afterwards I don't want to eat.
You just want to drink more.
Yeah.
And you just, yeah.
Oh, to be fair, I've only had 7 cans,
Only?
so I should be alright.
Yeah, but from where Gord's is from, 7 cans is like...
Breakfast.
It's like me drinking a can.
That would not be on my arse, to be perfectly honest. But it's been many, many, many years since I did any heavy drinking, so... God, that's nearly 15 years. Wow.
Well, to be fair, I do have a custom drinking can.
That's a nice staggered.
See, this is why I don't decant my beer. Why I drink it straight from the can is because if I poured it into a glass or a tankard or anything, it would be gone. It's the same reason why I never buy a half. Because I can drink a half in a second.
Yeah.
It's like when I worked in the one pub, one of the regulars on one of my days off, I was in there just having a quick drink before I headed into town to do a few little bits and pieces. I just bought myself a drink. He went, oh, I was going to buy you a drink because you're always working. I never get to buy you a drink. I buy everybody else a drink. I went, hang on. Go on then. Never tell me you're going to buy me a drink.
I have been known to have a drink on a Saturday. And bear in mind I was at Santa Pod at the time, which meant I had to drive back from Santa Pod. And when we calculated out what I'd drunk and worked it out based on an hour and then an hour per unit to retreat back to sobriety, We worked out, and it was about Wednesday when I could drive. I did used to be quite a drinker. I'm not anymore, but
Mate, when we were all doing our licensing exam to get our own personal licenses, we actually started making note of how many units we were all drinking of an evening.
thanks, Chief.
We worked out that on one Saturday night, I think it was about 70 units each we'd all drank.
Yeah.
And that was only from 8 o'clock when we met in the pub.
Yeah.
My excuse was the chasers.
Hmm.
And I still can't say chasers without sounding like I'm pissed.
Hey, what I used to do when I lived back at my dad's, I'd finish work and drop my van off at my boss's. I used to park my van at my boss's house, which was about 400 yards from my house. So I'd finish work, drop my van off at the boss's. Now, if I walked directly back to my house, it was about 5 minutes walk. But I did have the option of walking around the corner and going into my local pub. And it wasn't unknown on a Friday for me to finish work and go for a quiet pint. And it also wasn't unknown for that quiet pint to be 10 pints, and then me go home and get showered and changed and get ready to go out for the night at about 7 or 8 o'clock. And my excuse was always, well, I was just chatting. People turn up, you buy them a drink, they buy you a drink, you have a drink.
Polite and shit. Yeah.
And then, see, the worst thing about that is, you're chatting to somebody in the pub, right? So you're about halfway down your drink. You finish your drink, then you buy another one because you're still chatting, and it's rude to stand in the pub without a drink. That's bad etiquette. That's just not British.
It's also rude to interrupt a conversation to say, excuse me, I've got to just nip home to have a shower and get changed, and then I'll come back and we'll continue the conversation.
See, and then you run into the problem of when they go off and do whatever they're doing or leave to go on and do whatever they're doing, you still got half a pint left. So you start drinking it, then somebody else rocks up.
Yeah.
And then you finish that drink while you're talking to that person, and you're going to get another drink. And if you're like me, and I like to stand at the bar, okay, I like to be as close to the supply of alcohol as physically fucking possible.
You'd be standing on top of the barrels if you had a choice, yeah.
I have been known on one very, very drunken New Year's Eve to actually just stick my head under the tap and turn it on. Which is not something I would advise to anybody because there's a lot of gas running through that, and
It makes a mess.
it depends how fast you can swallow.
See, what I used to do when I was quiet, I'd go to the pub to have a pint and a read of my book. Or I should say, a pint and a read of my book. Just to settle down and process the day and think about things and so on and so forth. And again, it wasn't unknown for me to still be in the pub in my work clothes at chucking out time.
Must have been a good book.
There's a trick to that, and I'm going to tell you this. From years of doing this, I used to finish work at 6 o'clock, used to walk down to the roundabout. At the roundabout, I got two options. I can carry on walking towards town to go to my local pub, or I can cross over and walk up and go home. Now, the problem is, crossing over, it's a road and, you know, it's dangerous. And my mum always told me, don't cross unless there's a proper crossing. So the proper crossing is all the way just opposite the pub. So I used to cross over by the pub, and then I used to think, oh, wow, I'm right by the pub now. So I'd go in the pub, drink my 10 pints as per customary every evening after work, and then at chucking out time, I would always offer to help clean up. Because if you offer to help clean up, they always go, here's a pint for helping us. And then that turns into several more pints, and then you're in the pub until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then you rock home, get into bed, sleep, wake up in the morning. Your roast dinner that your mum's cooked you the night before is in the microwave ready for you to eat. That's your breakfast sorted, and rinse and repeat. It got to a point where if I didn't turn up at the pub at 6:10, I used to get phone calls to see where I was.
You alright? You're at the pub.
And if, for instance, I didn't go in the pub one night for whatever reason, the following day I would not only already have the phone call of where were you, but everybody would be like, I came in yesterday to see you and you weren't here.
Yes, I've had that conversation too.
Am I not allowed a night out? Where were you drinking? I wasn't fucking drinking, I was at home. Why were you at home? Because the TV series I like has just started again and I want to be able to watch it when it's on.
Do you know what destroyed my pub habit?
Marriage?
Smoking, bro.
Smoking ban, yeah.
I don't
That means
stop.
we were just talking about that before the show too.
I got pissed off with. I had replaced. It was near to the bar, but not at the bar. And I had my book, and my rucksack was next to me. And I used to sit there, and I'd have a pint. And when I finished my pint, I'd go and get another roll of cig and sit there and smoke. And then have my pint, rinse and repeat. And then a smoking ban came in. So to continue my ritual, I had to roll a cig, stand outside and smoke it. Walk back in, sit back down, drink my pint, read my book. Go and get another pint, put it next to my book, roll a cig, walk outside, smoke my cig, and then walk back inside. And then you get back inside, and some twat sat at your table. They've moved your book and your pint, shut the book, without putting your bookmark back where you fucking were. And then they're like, well, why are you sitting here? You sat at my fucking table. My name's almost carved in this fucking table. You know what I mean?
See, that was the brilliant thing about being at the bar and being in there every night. Everybody knew my spot.
Well,
Even when you weren't there, it was still empty.
I was the same, but my pub happened to have a unnecessarily large quota of yuppies who have no respect for fucking anything. And they see an empty table, well, what they consider an empty table. The fact is it wasn't empty because there was a rucksack sat in the fucking seat, there was a pint on the bar, on the table, and there was a book there, open. So clearly someone was coming back. But they had no worries about fucking all that off because they wanted to sit at a table.
Mm.
So after a while it was like, well fuck it, I might as well go home and read my book at home.
Yep.
I've been there and done that.
Does somebody else want to read that comment? Because I don't think I could make it all the way through.
Donald Sewell says, I was that drunk one night I walked 7 miles and was banging on the front door trying to wake my missus up. Problem was we had left 6 years before, woke up at 7. Woke up 7:30 AM in Full Street Police Station in Derby because I tried to hit the bloke because he was in what I thought was my house.
Nice.
I can't beat that, but I have been that drunk before that I couldn't even open the door. And I was there with the key trying to open the door and I was making that much noise that my old dear had made her way downstairs. And just as I thought I was about to get the key in the door opened, and I just went.
Fell in it face first.
And I've also been that bad before that I couldn't even open the door, and that I've decided to go up the garden and sleep in the greenhouse because it was raining and I needed somewhere
I've done
warm,
that.
somewhere warm and dry.
Yep. What better place than the greenhouse? You wake up in the morning, it is fucking freezing.
So I've gone in the greenhouse, put the little heater on, which is fine, but then I've shut the fucking door. Not advisable, folks.
Carbon monoxide is not fun. I've actually been carried home from my local pub, which was a 500 or 600 yard walk. And apparently halfway home, I got quite annoyed that I was being carried and knocked the fuck out of 4 of my mates.
It happens.
Bear in mind that when they carried me out of the pub, I was completely unconscious.
Remind me, if we are ever drinking together, if you become unconscious, I'm leaving you where you fucking fall.
It's good to know that in advance, isn't it?
It's these little things that you know about people. If he's asleep, leave him there.
I will
Don't
be.
go dragging him round the fucking neighbourhood.
I will admit, I have been that drunk before that I've had to be escorted home, and according to the kid who escorted me home, it took about 4 hours to make a 5 or 10 minute walk. Because I'd make a couple of steps, and then I'd turn around to him and I'd start talking, but as I was talking, I'd start walking back towards the pub.
It's like you're gravitating home.
Well, that's my...
I've got to admit, Ryan, I seriously considered messaging you and saying, dude, can I sleep on your sofa tonight?
You should have.
Today.
I ain't got work tomorrow.
I really considered it, but I thought, if I turn around to Tony and say, well, I was going to come home, but I couldn't really, because my boss said, you know, book a bed and breakfast, stop over, come back in the morning, which might have been the more sensible option. But I was getting towards Gloucester and thinking, I wonder if Ryan's about.
I'd have been about. If not me, then Ree would have been about. She'd have sorted you out. But yeah. The invitation's open, mate, if you're ever about. You know where we are. Well, I don't know if you do know where we are, but you've only got to message us.
No, it's just one of those, isn't it? You start driving and then it's like, you know what I mean?
I've done it before. I mean, I've been going... when I was about 18, I used to go all over the place. And I'd pass by somewhere with my mates and I'd be like, it's 4.5 hours till we get home. Or we can go and see so-and-so, have a kebab that I know is good, have a few beers and a laugh, and before I even knew it, we'd turned off the motorway and we were already heading there.
You were still thinking about it. You were talking about it. Yep, I'm going.
It wasn't even me driving, that's a fucking worrying bit. What's the address? Where do they live? Oh, so-and-so, yeah. How'd you get that? Well, you just turn off here, and then you take this turn in, and then you carry on down for a bit, and then you take the turn in by the school, and then eventually you'll pass a couple of pubs. When you pass a couple of pubs, take the second right, and then it's the 14th house on the left-hand side.
Impressive.
My rule of thumb is always, if I hit Birmingham, I'm going home. And if the traffic's alright before Birmingham, I keep driving.
Birmingham's a bit of shit for traffic, isn't it?
Birmingham is, from my point of view, a fucking nightmare.
So I complain about the traffic up here enough. And yeah, that's kind of
No,
yuck.
I travelled to Scotland and I've been into Glasgow at rush hour, and it's nothing to complain about.
Mm.
It's no.
Not even remotely.
I mean, I am talking about where I live. My boss is, if there's no traffic, my boss is 25 minutes from my house. And that's toddling along at 60 on the motorway,
Mm-hmm.
and then come off and into Warrington to my boss's house. If I have to be at his house at 9 o'clock, I set off at 7.
Jesus. 2 hours for the sake of 20 minutes, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And it's just, that's actually normal.
Mm-hmm. That's insane.
It's like Manchester again is 25 minutes to half an hour. When my little girl was passing away, I got from my house to Manchester, the middle of Manchester, in less than 20 minutes. In my big clunking 4-wheel drive, I wasn't even using a fast car.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to be in Manchester at 9 o'clock, I'm in Manchester for 7.
Yeah, to avoid the traffic, otherwise you're going to be on that road for hours.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh well, that's something I've got to look forward to in about a month, I suppose.
Please tell me you're not moving down to Manchester.
Oh no, I'm not moving. God, coming down for the meet in Birmingham in a month's time. Well, a month and a bit.
It's not Birmingham. It's Birmingham.
Well, yeah. However the pronunciation is, I don't know.
From where you're setting off from, you're pretty much fucked either way. But factor in most of the day for travelling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm coming down the night before.
Which, are you coming down the M6?
Yep.
Right. There's roadworks on the M6.
They're not roadworks. They're just.
Well,
they've coned part of it
There's
off.
just traffic cones, yeah.
there's cone storage for a significant portion of the M6 from Stafford to Birmingham.
Oh dear.
They did the same thing on the M5 at junctions between junction 7 and junction. No, junction 6 and junction 5. And it was there for 6 months, and the entire 6 months, I have eyewitness accounts of 4 people being on site. And then when they removed the cones, they had done absolutely fuck all.
Excuse me. Oh dear. Yeah, it sounds like pretty standard roadworks.
To be brutally fair, they have been doing bits and bats on, like I say, the stretch between junction 15 at Stoke and junction 13. They are doing bits, but they're doing it early in the morning. So it's not unusual for me to, I've got to go down south. So I set off at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Eesh.
And it's not unusual at that time in the morning for me to actually find the M6 closed and have to divert around it and then come back on near Birmingham. And by the time you've gone round the diversion, you start picking up the traffic at Birmingham.
You see, this is where the 1950s fucking lied to us. Right, by now we were supposed to have flying cars, robot butlers. Right, we were supposed to be living on the moon, and what have we got? David Cameron, cars that aren't as good as they say they are during the testing, and that I guarantee you that's not just limited to VW.
Well, no, it's not. There's Skoda, Seat, Audi.
Porsche.
Right.
Gosh, there's a whole shitload of them effectively here.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, we got Siri and Cortana, which are the most fucking useless things you can ever have. And Google changes its front page almost every day.
To be fair, if I was going to have a flying vehicle, I need a fucking Chinook to carry all my shit.
I can see you in a Chinook.
Well, I can too, but I'd like 2 miniguns and autopilot.
Ah, Daisy.
If I was in control of this country, Gord, you would have that.
Cool. I mean, most of my travelling is done in the van, and it's not a big transit. It only weighs 2.5 ton or something, but I have to go all over the country for some of my jobs. That's just the way shit is. That's why I'm often passing your house and Keith's house on the M5, and quite often I'm up in Scotland as well. I do cover the whole country. I mean, if I was to wait up, well, I can tell you now in the van I've got now, I've done 180,000 miles. And the van's only 6 years old.
Bearing in mind the average person probably does between 5,000 and 7,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
I've had my car almost 3 years-ish. Oh, no, 2.5. Yeah. And it's hitting 30,000.
Well, it's like my drivers at work. One of them had a new car not long ago. Had, I think, 14,000 on the clock when he had it. Was 3 years old. And this year, bearing in mind he's a taxi driver, so you'd expect him to do quite a fair mileage.
Aye.
He's only done about 20,000 miles.
It's not bad.
In,
Yeah, I have to
in,
drive
I
everywhere.
think a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And most of that would be in traffic.
Probably.
We can't get away from it, mate. We've got this stupid fucking one-way system. Alright. And then everybody ducks off the motorway to try and go through the what do you call them? Bypasses. To try and stay out the traffic and just get back in. Because 9 times out of 10, if you get off at, say, junction 7, jump on the bypass and go through, and jump back on at junction 6, you'll be ahead of where you normally would be if you'd just stayed on the moat.
Yep.
So every bugger's doing that. Oh dear. Yeah,
Like-
anytime I've gone.
Like I say, around Manchester at the moment, they're extending the tram system out towards my own place of Astley and beyond. They're also building a bus lane on the main road between Liverpool and Manchester. So the main road between Liverpool and Manchester, the main road that every fucker from about halfway down that road gets on to get into Manchester, is down to 1 lane. And 2 lanes weren't adequate. But they're building a bus carriageway on it.
That's just silly.
Then they're also converting the Manchester Ring Road to an intelligent road. So basically making it speed control and all that bullshit.
Mhm.
So there's all that going on, which restricts the number of lanes and builds up the traffic. So like most of the Manchester Ring Road is now restricted to 50 mile an hour.
Oh dear.
And then going past, you've got the M6, which is pretty much the main trunk road from the northwest, the lakes in Scotland,
Mhm.
to the south. And all of this is going on at the same time.
Very clever. Very, very clever. Road networks are just fucking ridiculous.
I've got to sit there and think. Oh, and at the same time, they're building the HS2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Manchester. Which really isn't going to benefit anyone.
No.
Because once you get up towards our way, you then start having hills and valleys and all sorts of shit that aren't very conducive to train travel without blasting an awful lot of land out of the way. So it's a fucking nightmare getting around the northwest at the moment, and you have to travel through it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Looking forward to it already.
The only thing I've got to ask is, we've got smartphones, right? Nowadays, every sort of computer operating software comes with some sort of speak and say fucking thing.
I've got to say, Google Maps is a... Plug your phone in, put your headphones into your phone, and turn on Google Maps and just put it to the side. And use your sat-nav, but have Google Maps. Because Google Maps will direct you around.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Yeah, I've used it a few times. It's not actually too bad at all.
The reason Google Maps is so good compared to a lot of other things is Google Maps is updated a lot more often than everything else.
Yeah.
And Google Maps also will work the world over.
Yeah.
As long as you've got data coverage, it will work. But what I was getting at is the fact that we got smartphones, we got personal voice-activated assistants on every fucking OS going nowadays. We've got intelligent roads. Sooner or later, the technology will be smarter than about 90% of the fucking population in this country.
Let's be fucking honest, it's already smarter than 50% at least.
I can't figure out how to use my smartphone. Clues in the fucking title.
You need to have half a brain to be able to use it. Go and sell it.
It's
Try
like
to
when,
someone that knows what they're
when
doing.
somebody says to me about the computers at work, oh, they're not working right. My response is always the same. A computer is only as smart as the person using it.
Yeah.
If it's not doing things properly, it's because you are an idiot.
Same with a lot of things. A lot of problems with computers and software and stuff comes down to user error. See it all the time on forums. Oh, this game's not running. Well, what are you running it on? This laptop.
Do you even know what a minimum spec is?
That's why it's not running. No, don't go there, right? Because this laptop that I'm currently doing this on has been able to do some fantastic things, and it is nowhere near the minimum spec for fucking anything I've made it do.
Well, fair enough.
But by playing around with the settings and all the INI files and stuff for games, I can actually make shit run. I can actually get Fallout 3 to work on a Windows 8 computer.
Yeah, I ran Fallout 3 on Windows 10. Modded to the balls. But, you know, it worked.
I know. That's why I'm looking forward to Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a new computer, which will sit somewhere between the minimum and maximum spec. Well, recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I'll pretty much be able to play it on high, because every developer ever has always overestimated the...
Yes, they do.
And have you seen the recommended?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I looked at it and cried a little. It's just thinking, I'm never going to have anything like that.
Yes, your minimum requirement is a £500 graphics card, a £300 CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not buying an i7.
No, it's
Ever.
pointless.
Because Intel can suck my balls. If it doesn't come in black and red, I'm not buying it.
Well, that's
You bang right there. Although I will also say that I have blatantly followed my TomTom simply because I wanted to go off-roading.
I don't need a TomTom. I would just have to ring my dad. Dad, I'm on such and such a junction of such and such a road. I need to get to such and such. How do I get there? Oh, just keep going down there. Take a left, take a right, whatever. My dad was a lorry driver for fucking God knows how many years. He knows every fucking back route of every fucking street in every fucking city of this country. In fact, he's even given, like, at one point I was planning on going on a road trip through Europe with a couple of friends of ours. He gave us a detailed fucking plan based on pubs.
Your dad was cool.
And he's like, when you get into Holland, don't worry about going in the pubs, having a couple, then jumping in the car. He said, as long as you're not being too dangerous, the police won't bother with you. Okay, Dad. Thank you very much. Says so much about you.
So I've got to admit, I used to be a genius with the A to Z, but a sat-nav system has been a massive benefit to myself, and now I can tag team the sat-nav and, like I say, Google Maps, where I get, like, literally up-to-the-minute updates on road closures, accidents and everything else.
Actually,
I mean,
curious.
It has worked out pretty well. The only issue I have is if something happens and all this electronic equipment becomes fucked, basically.
Most people will be fucked. I've still got my A to Zs. I've got A to Zs for about 40% of the country.
Yeah. It's like, how do you get down to London? What the fuck? There are signs on the fucking motorway that tell you what...
For most people, that's the answer. Drive safe. You'll find a sign.
But most people don't
That's
even
how
look
I
at
do
the sign. I don't even know why the councils and local boroughs are wasting money on signs anymore. There's no fucking point.
No, it has got to be said that most people can't drive.
I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. I get it all the time at work. Somebody will give me an address which is based in Worcester. Yeah, it's a local address. It's not like a new road or anything like that. Oh, do you need the postcode for the sat-nav? What? No, it's off such and such a road. Is it? Well, you fucking live there. Oh, I don't know. I've only ever got here by sat-nav.
Oh
What?
dear God.
The actual fuck.
I've got to admit, though, to be fair, postcodes and stuff for me are like part of my working day. But I am most of the time going to industrial estates.
That's
30,
one
40.
postcode that encompasses the entire fucking lot of it.
Yeah, you get to the industrial estate and then you find where you need to be. By driving around a bit and finding the company name. But I'm not going to industrial estates 5 miles away. I'm generally travelling to industrial estates the other side of Manchester, somewhere I've never been. And SatNav in that situation is a benefit. It is, because I used to, oh, where am I going next? Alright, I'm going here. So then you get your A to Z out, you find where you're going, then you get your notepad out, you write some quick paste notes to determine where you're going, which will be like M60 junction, whatever, A, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So what you'll end up with is, on your notepad, you'll have a list of rough directions, which is like, you know, turn off here, turn off onto this road, turn off onto that road. And it is a benefit in that instance, in that now I just tap the postcode into my sat nav and I go. I used to spend half an hour planning out where I was going. But I'm not someone who's only driving 10 miles away from where I live. Where
Yeah. I mean, you look at it like proper old school.
like I
25.
say, taxi drivers and truck drivers, if they're local, they'll have an encyclopedic knowledge of where they are because they're driven down most of the roads. There's no question about that.
I've got one driver, right, that will be able to tell you every single fucking road within 100-mile radius of Worcester. Right, and not only that, he'll be able to tell you how much it is from Worcester to that place. He's been
Well, that's
driving,
experience.
he's been driving that long, he just knows it. And whenever he goes somewhere he doesn't know, on the way back he always drives, not slowly, but not swiftly, if you know what I mean. He's always taking note of stuff. Mentally, all mentally. He's one of the same drivers that can tell me what the fucking rank list is, and I'm the one sat there with the rank list in front of me. And he can tell me exactly who's where, and what job somebody did 6 weeks ago at what time.
Get a good head for numbers, that one.
No, he's a pain in the ass.
That can be true at the same time.
Because you forget to put somebody on the rank list for whatever reason, and then he's like, that person wasn't behind that person, they were behind this person. Shut up.
He's fucking peace.
So I was going to have a rant, but actually after talking to you guys, I'm quite calm.
Ah,
Yeah, I need to retire into the house and acknowledge the fact that I live with people.
It's difficult to do sometimes, but every now and then it is necessary.
yeah. Yeah, I've got
Well,
lots
to
of
be
hang.
fair, I'm just the bank, really.
So I think we're going to call it a night there. We will start our goodbyes with Gord. Gord, would you like to say goodbye to the couple of people that actually stick with us till the very fucking end?
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. It's appreciated tonight because it's been a fucking long day. It really has. So I appreciate you tuning in.
Martin, would you like to say goodbyes?
Your goodbyes. Oh, elaborate. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Much fun as usual. Thanks folks for sticking around, and I'll very likely see you again.
And that only leaves me, and to be honest, I'm just going to say I'm about to press the big red button, because apparently to stop the broadcast I've got to press the red button, but to start I've got to press the green one. Still don't agree with that. Google needs to change that up. It needs to be a red button to start the broadcast. I don't care what colour it is to finish it, just needs to be a red button to start it. The record button on any camera is red.
It is.
So, would you not have the initial dilemma of do not press the red button?
I would, as soon as I got in Hangout, I'd just press the fucking button. That'd be it then. That pre-show chat that we usually have about nothing in particular, where we just go, no, save that for the show.
When have we ever said save that for the show?
Not very often. Usually Keith says it. But thank you for joining us. This has been as close to my birthday as I am willing to get with any live show. So thank you very much. It means a lot. And to the few people that actually stayed, you're awesome. Anybody who ducked out early, you're not. Catchy pies.